Palestinians examining damage to buildings and homes. Khan Younis following Israeli airstrikes in the southern Gaza Strip. October 10, 2023. Doha, Qatar. Thousands and entire families have been wiped out in the Gaza Strip as Israeli airstrikes reduce Palestinian neighborhoods to expanses of rubble. Doctors treat screaming children without anesthesia in darkened hospitals. Fear spread across the Middle East over the outbreak of a wider regional war. But in bloody arithmetic of Hamas leaders, the is not sad result of a major miscalculation. On contrary, they say the necessary cost of great success. The dismantling of status quo and a new opening, more volatile chapter in their struggle against Israel. It was necessary to change the whole equation and not just have a conflict. Hamas senior leadership body member Khalil al-Hayya told the New York Times in Doha, "We managed to put Palestinian issue back on the table and now no one in region is calming down." Since a shocking Hamas offensive on October 7 in which Israel said nearly 1,400 people were killed, most of them civilians, and more than 240 others returned to Gaza as captives. The group's leaders praised the operation, some saying there was a conflict between Israel, Gaza and surrounding countries. He hoped that it would initiate a permanent conflict that would end any pretense of coexistence. "I hope that state of war with Israel will become permanent on all borders and the Arab world will be with us," Hamas media advisor Taher Nounou told Times. In weeks' interviews, Hamas leaders, along with Arab, Israeli Western officials monitoring group, said attack was planned and carried out by a tight circle of commanders in Gaza who did not share details with their own political representatives abroad or regional allies such as Hezbollah. Distracting people from brutality. Scale-reach attack. Surprised. The offensive turned out be broader and more deadly than even its planners anticipated. In large part because the attackers were able to easily break through Israel's terrible defenses, allowing them overrun military bases and residential areas with little resistance. Hamas attacked a coast of southern Israel, killing and capturing more soldiers and civilians than expected. Officials said the attack was so devastating that it served one of the plotters' main goals. It broke a long-standing tension in Hamas over the group's identity and purpose. In the blockaded Gaza Strip, was a governing body responsible for managing daily life? Or was it still essentially an armed force, bent on destroying Israel and replacing with an Islamist Palestinian state? With the attack, the group's leaders in Gaza, Yehia Sinwar, who spent more than 20 years in Israeli prisons, and Mohammed Deif, a shadowy military commander whom Israel has repeatedly tried to assassinate, answered that question. They doubled down on military conflict. The weeks since have seen an angry Israeli response that has killed more than